Alright, so this is a continuation of my open letter to Nokia. If you need me to take over, I can. I think dropping out of law school to take over a major tech company would be pretty badass. But no, I don't understand what's going on with Nokia. They seem to have the decision making skills of a 12-year-old. They decided I think over a year ago, they were going to use Windows Phone 7 for smartphones. And most of us in the tech community thought, okay, Windows Phone is okay. It's because of the requirements that Microsoft places. You have to have this screen resolution, and we support this one core chipset. It's not like Android where you've got a new Android phone coming out every month that has crazy specs and is able to really create a good alternative to an iPhone. Um, you know, I don't think Android manufacturers think they're competing against Apple on quality or user experience, but they've got crazy specs. I mean, if you've got an 8 megapixel camera, you've got dual cores, this crazy 720p screen, you're able to distract people that it's not an iPhone. You're like, oh, but this thing has a better resolution than your TV and more processing power than your laptop. Yeah, that's pretty badass. Um, but Windows Phone, it's a single core, that one screen resolution. I mean, you really only buy a Windows Phone if you're able to get it cheap unlocked, or if it's a deal on your carrier. I mean, I don't think many people are flocking to Windows Phone 7 devices because you know, they offer some new paradigm or really compelling feature. The problem is that Nokia has a great mobile OS already. I'm not talking about Symbian. Symbian's crap. They've got Migo Harmattan running on the Nokia N9. They spent all this money developing this phone. It's got a crazy unibody polycarbonate body, great camera, 3.9-inch screen, pretty high resolution for its size, and this really innovative operating system that basically uses swipes to close stuff and to navigate. It's basically every electronic company's dream in that they were able to start from scratch. They were able to cast off all of the legacies because Nokia, like BlackBerry, had been trying to build upon their mobile operating system. BlackBerry's got BlackBerry OS, Nokia has Symbian. There becomes a point when you have to just say, okay, we've tried to improve this as much as possible, let's just start over. Because Nokia is still bringing out Symbian Bell devices. They brought out the 808 PureView. This thing has a 41 megapixel camera sensor on it. It's ridiculously amazing. I think anybody who takes photos on their phone a lot, like I do, yeah, I would love a 41 megapixel sensor. Sign me up. The problem is that it's running Symbian Bell. So it's got this 1.3 gigahertz single core processor. Okay, Symbian Bell's not anything rough, but it has the typical QHD screen. What's the resolution? I lost it. It's something ridiculous, like 360 by 640. Really? The iPhone's 960 by 540, and it has a smaller screen. So this is part of the problem. Nokia is trying to put, 2012 devices on a pre 2007 operating system. I mean, they've tried to spruce Symbian up, but it's still I've got an old E71. It's from 2007, 2008. I'm using it till my N9 gets here. It's fine. It was fine back then. In the same way that the BlackBerry was a good device back before push email was a thing. But now that everything's push email. I mean, if you've got an iPhone, Yahoo is push email. Um, we're in the era of Microsoft Exchange and Gmail. No one's really impressed by push email before. It was a great selling point when BlackBerry kind of had it as a distinguishing factor, but everyone expects their emails going to come in uh, right away, no matter the device. Um, and so Nokia, unlike BlackBerry, BlackBerry's finally doing it with Q and X, with the playbook. But somebody's still explaining to me why the playbook came out without email, calendar, and contact functions. It's a BlackBerry device, and it's a tablet, and there was no email client on the first device. I mean, it seems like corporate malfeasance to me. I mean, I don't understand how these CEOs are getting away with this. But same thing with Nokia. Um, it would be one thing if you were BlackBerry and you hadn't put out a compelling device, and I mean that's one problem. But Nokia put out a device that was great, that is great, that people are still trying to buy. I just bought my first one, the Nokia N9, and I think that's the problem. And they're continuing to update the N9, which is what kills me, because they said, we've brought out the N9, we've made this incredible device. It's the only one of these we're going to make. We've stopped. We're not doing any more MeeGo devices. But they keep updating the software. And so the software update that dropped on Monday was crazy. It added, folders for organization and all these, crazy new updates. And they're able to move faster than Apple, faster than Android, faster than Microsoft, because they've got, one device that they started over fresh with. And I think that Nokia could make a real run with MeeGo. They've shown that they're not afraid to hang on to an operating system for a while. They're still trying to hack Symbian Bell. And MeeGo's a fresh start. It's fresh. I don't think anybody who's used the N9, I have not seen one review where somebody said, this is not a compelling OS. Because it is. It's a fresh start. It's innovative. And I think Nokia should have another go at it. Because, Windows Phone, that's not going to be compelling unless they're able to speed up Microsoft's development and get crazy new features. It's going to be hard to compete against the rapid development of Android and the simplicity and cohesion of an iPhone. But if you've got a device that you're able to control the software and rapidly push updates and innovate the user experience, that's compelling. And for the love of God, GSM cell phone manufacturers, please start putting pentaband radios in your phones. Nokia is pretty much the only one, other than Samsung with the new Galaxy Nexus. The 1700 megahertz band, it's what T-Mobile uses. Some telecoms in India use it. I can't imagine that it adds more than $5 or $10 to the cost of a handset. Go ahead and add it already, because there are some of us who won't go back to AT&T because the rate plan is murder. T-Mobile is amazing. $60 a month for unlimited phone calls, text, unlimited data, with the first 2 gigs being at full speed. After that, it slows down. They start to, cut your bandwidth. Just add the 1700 megahertz, band on there. Nokia's been doing it with Symbian devices since like the N8. Get on board. Apple, that's you. Why are you selling an unlocked device for, $600 and something dollars? And if I want to use it on T-Mobile, I've got to use internet speeds from, 5 or 6 years ago. It's crazy. If Nokia can do it, Apple can do it. I assure you, this can be done. But anyway, so that's my rant. I mean, I just get so frustrated because Nokia has flashes of brilliance, whether it's the N9 or this new crazy 41 megapixel sensor on a camera phone. That's crazy. But it's actually crazy on a Symbian Bell device because no, it Symbian Bell sucks. Let's be honest. It sucks. So that would be my advice to Nokia. Don't be afraid to innovate. Um, you've got these flashes of brilliance, but you're not going to get famous on Windows Phone 7. I don't see Windows Phone 7 competing with Android or iOS in the near future. But you could do it with MeeGo. So fire up the production lines. You literally could put out something. You've already got the same design on the new 910. You could literally just flash an OS. Just start making it with MeeGo instead. Windows Phone sucks. Do it. Trust me. Take a risk. Because we've already got Android and iOS that are running great. And you need to kind of up your game. So, anyways, that's my letter to Nokia.